What I think is important, I know for me it is to understand the foundational reasons that we make mistakes about love. So the idea is this, and this is based on psychology and on science, what's called ego boundaries and how they become developed. So when we're born, we don't see, and this is really interesting in many ways, a difference between us and anybody else. We do not see a separation between ourselves and others.
To what age, you know?
Yes, until around, it starts breaking down from 1 to 2, and it actually continues all the way till adulthood. So what that means is that a baby believes that both there, and that what that brings to is the thought of omnipotence. So a baby's born, he wants to eat, the mother feeds him. A baby's born, he's tired, the mother puts him to bed. He is not even psychologically able to separate his mother's body from his own. As far as he's concerned, he's everything, and everything is for him. And therefore, he wants to. When the trees move, he's moving. When his hand moves, the world is moving. So there is that sense, and every baby has this. There is no ego boundary between a baby and the world around him or her. And then, as the baby grows, even towards age 2, he starts to realize, hey, not every time I cry do I get taken care of. There are times my mother doesn't feed me when I'm hungry. There are these disappointments, one can call them, but this sense of the world is not all mine, and I'm not omnipotent, and not everything I want happens to me right away. And he or she begins realizing that there's a difference between me and even my mother. There's a difference between me and the world. And that is called the ego boundary. So we begin to build around ourselves a sense that I am separate from you and I am separate from the world. And that, again, continues through adulthood. And I'd like to point out a few things. One, that the ego boundaries that we develop, that wall between me and you, that wall between me and everybody else in the world, also, as that begins being built up, also what begins coming down is the sense of I can do anything. The omnipotence and the ego boundary have an opposite effect. So when the ego boundary gets built up stronger, the sense of the ability of the individual to control anything, to do anything, also begins to crumble.